Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mooney and thank you for joining me today. So on this episode we're going to do another recipe. This one's for a recipe called Mutha Trucka. The name doesn't really mean anything. The recipe profile is a vanilla moon pie. If you're not from America, you may not know what a moon pie is. There are versions of it in other countries, but it's basically something akin to a cookie with marshmallow in the middle and then dipped in either chocolate or white chocolate, or banana flavored white, or really artificially banana flavored white chocolate, or there's strawberry ones out now and other flavors. But when I was coming up as a kid, there was banana and chocolate, and then when I got into my teenage years they came out with one that was just vanilla, or which is pretty much white chocolate. So this is my recipe for a white chocolate moon pie. Alright, so let's go down to the mixing video. We'll watch that. I'll put up the recipe as always, and then we'll come back and I will tell you how I came up with this and all the stories behind it. Alright, so this here is the recipe for the Mutha Trucka. We'll start with brown sugar by TFA, and we are going to do 0.5%, which is 0.32. We are going to follow that up with Flavor Art Marshmallow at 2%, which is 1.26 grams. We're going to follow that up with Capella's V1 Sugar Cookie, and that is 4%, which is 2.48 grams. Alright, and then after that is the Sugar Daddy at 1%, which is 0.78, and again remember this is a VG based sweetener. Alright. Our next one is TFA's Vanilla Swirl, and we're putting 1.25%, which is 0.79. Alright, and next is going to be 0.5% of TFA's Waffle Belgian, or Belgian Waffle, depending on where you buy it from, which is 0.32. Right, now we're going to do our white chocolate layers. The first one is Flavora's white chocolate. We're going to do 1 3/4% of that, which is 1.1 grams. Right, and we're going to finish it off with TFA's white chocolate. We're going to do 3% of this one, which is 1.81 grams. Alright, and that's all for this recipe. I'm going to add my fillers and see you back up top. Alright, so that was my mixing video on it. Let's kind of go over the ingredients real quick and talk about what they bring to it, and then we'll talk about how this recipe came about. So the cookie part of it, I tried using jungle flavor, or not, I didn't have jungle flavors at the time, but the Inaware biscuit, a couple other things, and it just wasn't exactly what I wanted it to be. So I kind of made my own version of the cookie part of it. I used a sugar cookie, and the brown sugar for a brown sugar cookie kind of thing, which is pretty much just what that it actually is on a moon pie. Then I used the waffle in it to give it kind of a lightness to it, and there's just a touch of syrup with that waffle, not a lot, just the slightest undertone of the generic pancake syrup to it, which adds a really nice mix to that cookie. So you have a brown sugar cookie with just a drop or two of dark syrup on it. And then we have our marshmallow and vanilla swirl. The marshmallow is pretty much standalone, but the vanilla swirl is another one of those things that takes the marshmallow from being a dry cereal marshmallow into a moister, fresh out of the bag marshmallow. The syrup also adds, and the waffle part of it also kind of add to that toasting of it without actually. I tried the toasted marshmallow in it, and that didn't really work. And then the vanilla swirl helps the marshmallow, but it also helps out the two white chocolates. And then the white chocolates together, the Flavora and the TFA, are both there for to fill out that white chocolate. The vanilla swirl white chocolate has kind of a peppery element to it once you go real high with it. And of course the white chocolates are dry as hell. So the vanilla swirl adds moisture to the marshmallow, but it also adds moisture to the white chocolates. So you have the two white chocolates, the Flavora, which is fairly potent. It's not quite as dry. It's a little dry, but it's not bad. It's less like a white chocolate candy bar and more like that bark, more of that artificial flavor to it. For once, TFA did a better job than Flavora. Go figure. It doesn't happen often, right? But the TFA is a better representation of a softer white chocolate candy bar, like the cookies and cream bar or the white chocolate on other things. It's a softer, a little bit moister white chocolate. But either one of them, when you take either one separately up to this level to get a white chocolate flavor, they get peppery. So by layering them together and using two of them, you get a fuller white chocolate, a denser mouthfeel to the chocolate without it getting peppery. So that's pretty much the ingredients that I used. The Sugar Daddy at 1%. This one needs a full 1% on the sweetener. Honestly, if you're not sensitive to the sucralose, I would go 1% of the Sugar Daddy and then add 1/4% of super sweet to it, to just push the sweetness just a little bit further. Now this recipe, because of the white chocolates and the vanilla swirl in it, it's very much it's not a steeper, it's a sleeper. This is a 3-week minimum, and it really needs 4 or 5 weeks. It really needs that long to come through. So this recipe kind of has an odd history, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that. It started off with one idea and turned into something else, and I kind of like where it ended up. Somewhere down the line, I may go back and try the other one again with a few different things. But my original idea when I first started vaping was to do like for some reason I wanted to do chocolates and I wanted to do coffees, and neither one of those are very easy flavors to do when it comes to vaping. I mean, they're great flavors in real life, but in a vape, they're a little bit different. Burnt popcorn, rubber, I mean, you get some odd off notes with those flavors. So my thought was I would make a white chocolate s'mores instead of a chocolate s'mores. I thought that sounded really good. And in real life, I'm still convinced that would be absolutely delicious. But so I went and got I already had graham cracker. I already had the marshmallow, so I went and got the white chocolates. Well, when you take the white chocolates up enough that they taste like white chocolate, there's pepper, they're dry, and then a dry marshmallow. It needed something. So, still chasing that original idea, I started tinkering around with it, and I found a few recipes on ELR and a few notes. I talked to some people in some Facebook groups, and they said layer your white chocolates and add vanilla swirl. Alright, well, vanilla swirl I had already had because that helps with that marshmallow. So, okay, well, we mixed the white chocolates, and those are my favorites. I've tried those two and Wonder flavors. I know there's a couple other ones out there, but those are the 3 that I have. And in this combination, those 2 work the best for me together. So that's why TFA and Flavora is in there. And then the vanilla swirl, like I said, it's one of those things that you can take and add to regular marshmallows if you don't overdo it with it. With the Flavor Art marshmallow, and make it into more of a fresh marshmallow versus a dry cereal marshmallow. I tried using the Inawera biscuit. I tried the the Jungle Flavors biscuit, the Biscotto, the cookies, different things I tried for it, and I think this combination came up really good for the moon pie effect. Using just the graham cracker with the once I got the white chocolate sorted out, I tried mixing it with the graham cracker, and the graham cracker clear is what I used, and that just brought that pepper right back out. For me, they don't sit well together. It needs more of a cookie base. So I've got to chase the original profile, I've got to go back and figure out how to find that graham cracker flavor without bringing out the pepperiness of the white chocolates. So right now we're at a white chocolate moon pie, and I'm completely happy with that. Like I said, this recipe needs a long steep. So, I mean, that's really all there is to it. It's a really good recipe as it is. Let it steep for a while. Sweeten it up a little bit more if you want to. And, hey, if you mix this up, let me know what you think of it. Let me know what you think of it off the shake. Let me know what you think of it as it steeps, that sort of thing. Personally, I don't like it off the shake, but some people, taste is subjective, as I always say. So, if you do, that's awesome. Alright, so that's kind of going to be it for this video, guys. I really want to say thank you so much for watching, especially if you watched all the way through to this point. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot. As always, there's links down below for advocacy. There's my personal links to my other social media accounts. If you're just looking for me on everything all at once, Alabama Vape Mob brings me up on everything. My fiance has a Vinted account. It's down below as well. The merch store is down below. I'd really appreciate that because that's advertising for me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All of that stuff. And yeah, as always, y'all be safe and have a good one.